Hi guys, so today I'm going to show you a tutorial on how to fix your Sharpie pen. A lot of my friends at school have the same problem as me, which is where the felt tip of your pen has been pushed back into the metal barrel. I'm pretty sure you know what I mean since you're watching this video. So let's get started. All you really need for this is just a tack. Just a simple tack or anything else that's pointy that is small enough to be able to reach into an indentation that you'll see later in the tutorial that's on this section of the pen. So basically, my pen, which is probably like yours, the felt tip should be coming out of this metal part, except it's not. And so when you're writing on paper, what happens is the metal actually just scratches straight down on the paper and it leaves this really ugly mark, and you're not getting any ink from your pen. And so when you write like this, the pen barely dispenses any ink. Let me show this to you. So the ink is very scratchy and it doesn't come out too well, and this has been a really big problem for me, and I was really unhappy with it because I really love this pen and it didn't work anymore because of that. So what you're gonna have to do is take your tack and find this indentation in the pen. It's right about here. You probably can't see it too well here, but if you have your pen, you should find this small indentation. What you do is you put the tip of your tack or whatever else you're using that's pointy, put it into that small indentation and just wiggle the tip of the pen out. If you wiggle hard enough, it'll eventually come out, and then you'll be able to see this really small plastic tube. Okay, so mine popped out. I've done this a few times, which is why this part of the pen came out so easily, but if this is the first time you're taking apart your pen, then you may have a little more trouble with it, so just be careful not to hurt yourself. So right here, there's this little plastic tube where the inside is where the ink comes from. And if you pull it lightly, it comes out like this. And in here, inside the pen, is a sponge or a foamy type of thing where the ink is held. And so this is where the ink comes out from. And this is actually the felt tip that got pushed back into your pen. So what you're going to want to do with it is hold this side firmly. And here's the tip that we pushed out just now. Just put it back together. And up here, this is where the metal barrel was when I was writing on the paper to show you. And what you want to do is right down here, hold it tightly and use a little pressure and push the two parts together. You should get this tip to push right back out of the metal barrel. Okay, so if you can see, the felt tip came back out of the metal barrel, and now what you're going to want to do is just put the pen back together. That's how simple it is. So here's the pen, and then here's the tip. Just lightly push it back in, and you should feel this tip right here. It should push back into the sponge inside the pen. So make sure you put it back tightly. And yeah, so now you have a pen like this, and just beware now that when you're using the pen, be sure not to push too hard. When you push too hard, the felt tip might actually go back inside the metal barrel and you have to do this whole thing again. And quick warning, this process isn't going to work too many times. I've already done it maybe 3 or 4 times, and I feel like this felt tip is already loosening up and it kind of slides back and forth inside the metal barrel. So at that point, you're just going to have to buy a new pen, and I guess there's no way to save it. But for now, just don't write too hard and you should be good. Let me show you. So here's the same paper I used just now. Here's the mark that I made before I fixed the pen. And here's the new mark. So as you can see, the mark is so much better, and the pen obviously wasn't out of ink yet. So let me just take this paper up and show you. If it's showing up well enough, you can see the difference between the two marks. The one on the right, there's a bit of a breakage between the lines, and I was writing really hard when I made that line. Whereas the one on the left over here, I didn't press hard enough, or I didn't press hard at all, and the ink just came right out. So hopefully this tutorial helped you, and this is my first video, so I'm sorry if it didn't focus too well or some things weren't too clear. Just comment below if you need any help or any questions, and I'll make sure to answer them. Okay, bye. Thanks for watching.